Are we all doing great on this day here? Alright, what's going on? It's your boy Flop, and I'm back with another video, man. Looking for my star, so I'm not going nowhere. Look! Now, when it comes to footwear, we don't get 2.0 versions often. Now, I know every once in a blue moon, we'll get a 2.0 version, but it's not often. And when we do, it's greatly appreciated. Now, the shoe that I'm going to be talking about in this video is none other than the Superbirki from Birkenstock. Now, this is the Superbirki from Birkenstock. This pair I've had for over 2 years now. And if you've seen my review for it, my thoughts and opinion about this wasn't so great. Now, there were some aspects about the Superbirki that I thought could have been better. The first being that I thought this insole just wasn't comfortable at all. I thought this was just a lackluster insole, and it didn't really necessarily add any cushion to the overall experience while wearing the Superbirkis. Now, number two, something I couldn't just vibe with is when I initially got these shoes, I wore them for an extended period of time, obviously to get my thoughts and opinion about it accurately. So when I rocked them, as I walked, this piece right here would kind of make an indent and then it would rub against the top of my foot, causing pain. Like if I wore these during a work day and I was standing for like 8 hours, I would start feeling it around 3 to 4 hours and it would just be cutting into my skin, and I would kind of like take my foot in and out the shoe just periodically throughout the day. And I just couldn't vibe with it because in comparison to other clogs that I have, these were just subpar. But we're not here to talk about these. We are here to talk about the Superbirki 2.0. And as you can see, this is just a completely different shoe. It doesn't have that texture top. It's very smooth right here. The tread back here is obviously very different. The bottom tread is very different as well. The shoe overall, just first impression, is very wide compared to the original pair. Like extremely wide. And I'm gonna try to show you how it's wider than the other one through representation on foot, but it's a bigger shoe as a whole. Now that doesn't mean I changed the size. This is also a size 42. I didn't change my size because I didn't know it was bigger, but it doesn't feel like that. I just feel like it just looks wider on foot. When you look at a top down angle, it's just a wider shoe compared to the original pair. Now, just sticking true to my typical review fashion, I'm gonna be rocking these for about 5 to 7 days, just so I can get a real understanding. Did they fix the problems from their original pair? Is the 2.0 better than the original? That is the main question I'm trying to figure out when it comes to the Superbirkis. Again, I really wanted to like the Superbirki. Like I really did. When I saw it online, I was like, that's dope. They had a bunch of colorways, but when I got it, it just wasn't as comfortable in comparison to other clogs that I had. But this 2.0, just off first impression, is warranting good things. The way it feels, I put my foot into it. The footbed overall feels better. I'm not trying to go too much in depth because I really just want to just put them on and start wearing them daily and see what my opinion is. So again, this is going to be the main talking point for this video. Did they fix the issues with their original, and did they upgrade it with the 2.0? Again, I will catch on in about 5 to 7 days when I have my thoughts gathered. Scene!
Here's a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. Here's a house for love, and I've learned. Here's a house for love, and I've learned.
Now you've made it to the review portion of this video, so I wasted no more time. Let's just go straight into it. Now, typically when I do my reviews, I like to go sizing first, and I like to do comfortability next, but I'm just gonna do an overall overarching analysis before I get into all that about the Superbirki 2.0 versus the original. So overall, the Superbirki 2.0 is just all around better. It's just a better experience. I'm talking, I went to the gym, ran errands, out and about, sitting on my computer, sitting on the couch, just walking around the house. Overall, the Superbirki 2.0 is just better than the original. And even on one of the days, I decided to wear these just for a couple of hours. I maybe say like 2 or 3 to see if like, had my opinion changed since I last made that video? Did I break them in more? Like, was that what was missing? And honestly, no. The original is just not as great as the 2.0. Clearly, it's a 2.0 for a reason. They knew this wasn't all that great from the jump. Now, when I do my reviews, just know everybody's gonna have a different experience. I know people who have the original that had a great experience. They said they was the most comfortable shoes that they own. Me personally, I can only go off my experience. These just weren't great. And I expressed that in my original video when I reviewed these, but these are just overall a better experience. They overall just look better too. The sleekness of it, the overall tread of it just looks better. The traction on the bottom just looks better. The footbed, the insole is just all around better. So if you are stuck between, dang, I kind of wanted the original Superbirki, but they made a 2.0. Should I get the Superbirki 2.0 or should I get the original? I'm gonna sit here and tell you right now, me personally, I'm taking these over these any day. Now, let's talk about sizing. Now, obviously, when I got this pair, I opted in to get the size that I got for this pair. These are both size 42s or a size 9, 9.5. Now, the reason I say 9, 9.5 is because if you take out the insole for these shoes, they kind of give the feel of a 9.5. So I know some people do rock them without the insole. Me personally, I haven't found a reason to necessarily do that. So again, I know that is an option, but these are a size 42, size 9. Now, the first thing that I noticed, even when I cracked open the box and when I put them on my feet for the first time, these are just a bigger shoe in every aspect. I'm talking lengthwise, widthwise, these are just a bigger shoe in general. I didn't think that was necessarily gonna be too much of a big issue just because like when you look at it online, they don't look necessarily bigger than the others. And I just thought that they would follow the same sizing model that they did for the original pairs, but let me just heed this warning. These are bigger. Now, if you look at this video here, my foot is all the way at the front of these shoes. And as you can see, there's maybe about 1 finger space. If you have like a small pinky, 1 finger space or space on the back of the shoe, like my foot fits in these. So I'm not saying they don't fit or if I feel like I'm clunking around, but there is a noticeable difference in the overall length of these shoes. These are just bigger shoes in general. So I know maybe if you have a smaller foot, you may want to go down a size. I'm not going to advise everyone to go down a size, but I think that I potentially could have fit a size 41 in these, just given how much space is in the back of these shoes. But again, I don't necessarily feel like these are too big either. Like they fit. I don't feel like I'm flipping and flopping out of them when I'm walking around if I was in the gym. But I did just want to add that little tidbit because if you have a slimmer profile foot, you may experience some issue with these just because of how much bigger they are compared to the original pair. But overall, I would say they're true to size. Now let's talk about comfortability. Truthfully, I'm not spending much time here. It ain't much to say. These are 10 times more comfortable than these. And it's not even close. It's not close at all. I could have wrapped up the review when it came to comfortability 2 days ago, 3 days ago, truthfully. Like, it's night and day, the comfortability on these. I'm not even trying to over-index on like how uncomfortable these are because I can wear them, not for an extended period of time, but if I put them on for like, you know, a walk to the mailbox, or if I put them on to go to the store real quick, they're cool. But once you start getting to like the 2 to 3 to 4 hour mark, if you out and about, you will start feeling some pain. I have yet to feel, actually I can't say that. I've yet to feel any type of discomfort that I had with these. Now I will say after wearing them for a couple hours, like I think it's just normal to feel some type of ache in your feet. So I won't give it too much of like a negative, you know, point here. But I did start to feel some pain right around this area, like on the top of my foot. But overall, I was able to put some hours into these and not have any issues. Like it's it's night and day. It's not even close. Like if you're stuck and in between whether or not like which one's more comfortable, I'm keeping it real. It's not even close. Like I just have to keep it real. These are 10 times more comfortable just because the overall insole is just thicker and it's padded just a little bit more. Like if you look at this one here, has a little bit more structure to it. It has a little bit of padding, not overly comfortable, but it's like, it still feels good. Like it doesn't feel like a brick. While the original one doesn't really have that structure right here at the bottom. It's not really like, it's a little bit more flimsy. It's not too structured. So it's just night and day, bro. Like these are just completely different shoes in my opinion. Now my overall thoughts and opinions about the Superbirki 2.0 Birkenstock, you did the Superbirki justice. Like I was a big fan of the Superbirki when it initially dropped. You had a bunch of playful colors. Just going into the spring and summer months, it's like, it was a dope shoe just to have in my closet, but it just wasn't as comfortable as other clogs in my closet. So I didn't really reach to grab them as much as other pairs. The Superbirki 2.0, you did it justice. This is how you do it. So I need a lot of colors. Honestly, I should start partnering with people to do different prints as well. Like I would love a good cow print, hide print in this, a good like just, you know, something different. I think you guys can really take it there. I think the overall difference in like the sleekness of it, the overall traction on the bottom, just like the overall appearance about this shoe is just 10 times better than this one. Again, this one isn't horrible. This one isn't like, you know, disgusting. I'm not gonna spit on it and throw it out. Obviously, I still have it in my closet. I just don't go to reach for it as much as I do my other clogs. These are going to get worn. Truthfully, the only bad thing, or the only thing that I will say about this is it's a bigger shoe. So when you are getting your size, you might want to take that into consideration. Again, I didn't have too much of an issue with like it flopping off or like me slipping out of the shoe. But I know if you have a slimmer profile foot, you may have that issue. But overall, the Superbirki 2.0 far exceeds the Superbirki original pair. That's just my thoughts and opinions. But without further ado, like I always do, I will catch y'all on that next one.
But I love the way you work it. Ay, I love the way you work it for me.